looking at game one versus Philly, other than PJ Tucker, who was just absolutely everywhere on both sides of the ball uh, last night, Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo were the two storylines of this game, not only just individually, but together. They were pretty much aligned throughout this whole game. One of the most effective sets was just high pick and roll with Tyler and Bam because, first of all, no big on this team or quote unquote big on this team could stay with Bam on the roll. And obviously, Tyler could pick apart drop coverage against DeAndre or Paul Millsap, whoever's in that drop. And that's kind of what happened. Uh, After having a first round series that didn't really benefit them matchup wise, this is clearly one that benefits them together. So I just want to go through some of the possessions where they worked well together in high pick and roll situations. When I asked Spo about like when this kind of grew the most, he mentioned just guys going out and that they got extra reps. And Tyler said that it was after All-Star break. And funny enough, if you think back to when this thing really took off, it was right around that Brooklyn game where Bam had 30, Tyler had 27 because Jimmy and Kyle were out. That was right after All-Star break. That seems to be the thing that's kind of taken this to the next level. But just looking at some of the stuff here, one of the things Tyler's done against Philly more than any other team is instinctive cuts, just moving without the ball, not being predictable because they're trying to push him in certain directions that they want him, and him able to kind of maneuver in this way changes things when he's off the ball. Right here, him working it with Bam off on the strong side. Look at the weak side. They went small with this lineup. It may not be in your eyes the most spacious three to have on the weak side. Obviously, Strus, but Victor Oladipo and Caleb Martin just planting on that weak side may not be the best in terms of spacing, but Philly sticks right with them. They're not dipping down at all. They're staying right there. Now Tyler has room. What they're doing, what they did a ton, is kind of being patient, waiting for Bam to get a seal, low post. Now it's looking like it's going to be a Bam post on Paul Millsap, and Tyler could clear. No, Tyler, with Tobias kind of predicting that, Tyler throws a quick instinctive cut, gets to the middle of the floor, throws a floater, knocks it down. That's type of the stuff that when they're over harping on one or the other, they can get to their spots. Now, getting into the high pick and roll stuff, this is when everything was most effective. Paul Millsap's on the floor now. They're still in that little drop. But we'll just watch the way they're aligned when he comes off the screen. Watch the way that they're parallel and linear with each other once they pass the three-point line. They get past here. Now they're right with each other. Tyler waits for Paul Millsap to turn his body. As I go back a little bit, he stays with him knowing that he's not playing super high. Well, he's playing higher than usual drop, but he's not playing high enough that they're going to blitz him. He's going to be patient. He's going to wait a second and then feed Bam right here once he's turned to his right. Now Bam has a clear lane to lay it in. It's just simple stuff. It's Tyler improving his reads in a lot of this because I don't think he was as calm, as comfortable, and as ready to read this type of stuff maybe a year ago as he is right now. Now, this is the type of stuff that makes it the most effective. This is why we say that the Tyler-Bam combo is going to be effective in this series. Because Tyler is such a threat in drop coverage, they have to adjust at times. And the adjustments that come are just not viable when you have DeAndre Jordan specifically on the floor. Right here, Tyler, it's going to be a clear out. Bam's going to get into a high pick and roll with him again. What does DeAndre Jordan do? He's going to flash high because Tyler looks like he's about to go into a jumper anyway. But look where DeAndre Jordan is. If DeAndre Jordan is right there on the floor, it is a win for your team. Right here, Tyler makes a great pass inside to Bam. Now that he fakes out too, Bam could go right up in traffic, lay it in. And that was kind of one of the bigger runs in this game. That was kind of the most important stuff. But another one, speaking of DeAndre Jordan, the last clip I just wanted to show was there could be an element to reverse this thing where Bam is the guy that has the ball in his hand. Something we talk about a ton with inverted pick and rolls. They don't run a ton of sets for Bam anyways, but this is the reason it could work. Right here, they're just trying to get back into transition defense. They're all over the place. DeAndre Jordan's getting back on defense. You see they're riding Bam right here on the perimeter. But the reason this is important is since he's on Bam, DeAndre Jordan wants no part of switching out to Tyler Herro. He's just trying to get his attention for his teammate to get back onto Tyler. He doesn't listen. He's here. Now Tyler's wide open because DeAndre just wants to stay in that drop, and Tyler hits a three. There's ways to exploit this all over the floor. Maybe it's as simple as Tyler and Bam high pick and rolls, just picking apart a defense. But maybe the next adjustment to look out for is, for one, maybe more Bam Tyler minutes in general, that they try to match those two up and maybe give Oladipo and Jimmy run instead of running all three of them together. But just keep an eye out on inverted pick and rolls and Bam having the ball in his hands with Tyler screening.